Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at KASPA. This is a lower time frame video. We have actually done a higher time frame video today, so check that up above here for more information on the bigger moves that we're following here. Okay, so let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so in the higher time frame video, we were discussing the idea of just having a corrective move to the upside. So we do still have potential for this to turn into an impulse and where this could be looking to extend up. But as long as we actually remain in the zone of this 34347 to this 23628 region, we need to just be cautious of that possibility of a rejection to the downside where we still could see this play out. So we're going to go over the bearish scenario here first, and then we're going to go over that bullish scenario. Now, if we are looking at this move here, we need to be cautious. We're sitting right in this golden pocket area, which is this 28750 to this 27571 region. If we do start to break down here, we could actually be looking to have a move to the downside, looking for the possibility of either that C wave to the downside or potentially, for as long as we actually hold this 011659 region, we can look for the possibility that this is actually becoming a bigger corrective structure. So at the moment, it is looking likely that we are within this as an A, B, and a C. Now, if we did actually move up here past this point of this 030257, what we could then argue is that we have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd be looking for a fifth wave. So if we cross this 1618, we'd be looking for an additional fourth wave down and then continuation to the upside, though we need to wait for that confirmation of the fourth wave. If, however, we just see this move start to roll over here, what I'd be on the lookout for would be that possibility of actually seeing a bigger three-wave move to the downside, coming back into the 17855 to this lower range here of this 14282. So we do have some target boxes in this lower area here. There are some interesting zones, particularly this blue one here is a cluster of golden pockets that could be quite interesting in here. So I would be on the lookout for this area of this 17868 to this 16639 zone. Obviously, once we start to move down, if this happens, we'll get a bit more information in the internal counts. So the way that I'm looking at this structure here is that this last leg here, it could potentially be completed already, where we argue that we have something along these lines here, where we're looking at the internals here in the same way with both of these counts. We treat this as 1, 2, all of this becomes 3, triangle and a fourth here, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, it is possible that this third wave could actually be over here, where we actually say that this move is already completed, where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if this is the case, what this would mean is I would be actually looking for a deeper breakdown here. But really, as long as we hold above this zone here of this 025418, we need to just be aware there is the potential we could still see another push to the upside here, where we could see price actually push up into the zone here of this 2915 to this 28370 region. So that would be our fifth wave that we'd be looking for up here. So that would be looking for that potential of looking to push up one more time. Like I said, as long as we actually stay below this 30240, we need to be on the lookout that we could actually see this look to reverse to the downside. And if it is a corrective move, we have our support zone lower down here where we would be looking for this. Alternatively, if we start to form bigger five-wave structure to the downside, it might become likely that we're going to rather lose this zone of the 01659 region. So I would be looking for that potential to push up one more time here for this fifth wave. But really, if we start to break down in a bigger way and we lose this fourth wave area here, we need to be cautious of that potential that we could actually be either in this B wave where we're going to look to find support here, or we're looking for that C wave down. Now, in the bullish case here, what we'd be actually arguing is that we have an impulse that has actually already formed this fourth wave because we've come down to this zone of this 0.5. Now, if this is the case, what this could actually mean is that we are looking for the possibility of pushing up for a fifth wave here, in which case we'd be looking for this 095422 to this 058090 region as a possible target. We do have some other target areas here, which would be these ones here, this 382 towards this 044265 and this 0.618 here towards this 10 cent area. So we'd have to keep an eye on those if we do see this actually continuing to develop to the upside like this. Now, if we are looking at this as an impulse though, what we'd be rather looking for would be the potential that we have this as a series of ones and twos, where this is 1, 2 here. And because we actually haven't hit this 030240, The other way that we can look at this is that if this does look to break down deeper here, this could actually be a wave 2, where we actually have this as 1, 2, this becomes another 1 and a 2, and then we look for a bigger push up in a third wave. Now the idea would be the same here. I'd be looking for the same internals, where we're looking for this fifth wave. Either we have completed and we're going to look to break down here, or as like I said, as long as we hold above this 25418, we do have the potential that we could see another fifth wave up here. Now it's possible that this could be something like a triangle here, where this becomes A, B, C, D, E, and then we get a push up for this fifth. Or alternatively, what we could have here is this is an A wave, we're forming a B wave, and then we look to push back down to this lower level here of this 25418. So I'll be keeping an eye on that zone if we do actually look to push up here. This could actually, or push down here rather, this could actually tie into the idea of this fourth wave. Now, an interesting thing is that we do actually have a naked point of control, which is sitting a little bit lower down here towards the zone of this 025842. So I'll be keeping an eye on this if we do see price actually look to come back down here. Possibly we could look to sweep this naked point of control here, and then possibly even come and look to, come back into this previous structure that we've got over here. So I'd be interested to see if we manage to hold that level. Now, the key difference with this count is if we do get a 5-wave move up, which actually fails to achieve this 030240, what we could actually get is a deeper retracement again, once in a 3-wave move. So this could actually be looking to bring us down towards a 020498 to this lower range here of this 15697. If we lose this lower 15697, it becomes more likely that we're going to actually break this low here, and that would be our invalidation for this idea of an extension. Now, what we'd be looking for here, ideally, would actually be looking to push up. So we'd get this 5-wave move completed, 3-wave move down, and then off of that 618, I'd be looking for this zone of the 050382 region as a possible target area for a third wave here, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'd be looking for a fifth. Now, if we do get something like this, effectively what we'd then have is an additional fourth and a fifth, which could look to actually push us up here towards this higher target range of this 083610 to this 067429 level. Now, moving up into that zone would actually tie into the idea that we could be looking for that fifth wave. So if I just overlay the higher degree count here, we can see that would actually look to push us into this white box area here of this 95422 to this 58090. So if we do see something like this, this is how I'd be anticipating us to actually build up into these levels, and then we'd have to see how we react from those points. So we're going to just go over a couple of key levels that we have here that I'm keeping an eye on. So just above us, I do have a target box here that is sitting at this 028665 to this 028010 region, and within here what we do have is a daily naked point of control, which I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see price move up into. This would be higher up here towards this 028671. Now this would also be quite interesting because potentially this would be looking to bring us up into some of these higher levels here, and we could potentially then look to reject off of that zone. If we do look to move back down, we do have some areas lower down here that I'll be keeping an eye on as well. They are potentially going to be support zones, particularly if we're looking at that 1212 idea. Like I said, I would be very interested to see how we react in the zone of this 17868 region to this 16639 region. That would be quite an interesting zone to keep an eye on, just because of the fact we have some fib clusters in this area that are quite interesting to me. Now, I'm going to come over here and we're actually going to have a look at the CPR. Now, we're going to put this onto the daily CPR, and what we are looking at here is we can see that we are currently still above these central CPR lines. So for as long as we remain above these central CPR lines, what we can potentially look to do is have price be gravitated to the upside, where we actually look to test out this S1 line. Now this S1 line is sitting here towards this 28675. If we do push up higher, we have the 30621, we have this 33359, and this higher level here, which would be this 35352. So those would be our targets above us. If we start to, however, lose this zone, what we could see is price could get gravitated towards this R1 line here at this 23978 region. And if I overlay that idea of the impulse, we can see that this would actually look to bring us down below the typical area we'd be looking for as a fourth wave. So if we do look to push down here, this bottom line of the CPR is actually quite interesting towards this 25545 region. If we do hold that zone, then potentially we could look to that fifth. Alternatively, like I said, we could argue that this is a completed correction, and we could actually see price look to start to move down and hit some of these lower targets here. Now, if this is an impulse, we'd be looking at something like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking to develop, and our target area for that would actually be this 0, 2, 4, 5, 5, 6 for a wave 3. So if we do break down into this level, that would actually look to push us into that wave 3 target. Now, we do also have the R2 here at this 21,229 and the R3 lower down here towards this 19,247. So be keeping an eye on these to see how price actually moves through these levels. As well as that, we're going to have a look at the weekly CPRs. What we can see is we're currently fighting with the S2 line here. If we do actually see price gravitate back to the downside, be keeping an eye on this S1 line here towards this 23549 for some kind of a reaction. Doesn't mean that we're going to have to push to the upside again. It could actually mean that we just find support there temporarily before looking to move back down. Alternatively, if we are looking to extend up here, what we could actually see is price could get gravitated towards this 031239. Now, within the count, I'm not seeing that myself, but there is always a possibility that within here, where I'm counting this as 1, 2, all of this is 3, 4, and then 5, it could be that actually what we have is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then actually we're extending out here. So for as long as we continue to hold the previous fourth wave level, we need to be aware there is that possibility that price could continue to climb for that higher wave 3 target. So I'd want to be keeping an eye on that if we do look to move to the upside, this 31269. Alternatively, like I said, if we move down S1, potential support comes in at this 23549. And then if we had to move down deeper here, we have these central CPR lines sitting again between this 1969 to this area here of this 18920. So if we do see a price move back into this, would be a very interesting area to keep an eye on for the potential of a bounce, even if it is just a temporary one. And then lower down here, we have this R1 line, which is sitting at this 015871. Now, this would be interesting to me if we started to see a bigger retracement here back into the channel. This could potentially become a target area to actually keep an eye on. Now, if we have a look at the monthly CPR, what we can see is that we have actually hit this S1 line over here. So now that we've hit this S1 line, what we can actually see is price could be gravitated back towards these central CPR lines, which is sitting here towards this 21358 to this lower region here of this 17676. So if we see price move back into these levels, I'd be keeping an eye on these different zones as possible support to come in. Once again, if we're looking for that possibility of support to come in as a as either this being an A wave, a B wave, and then looking to push up for a C wave, that would align with our 50% line currently. So I'd be keeping an eye on this level if we do actually come back down here. Alternatively, if we're looking at it in the bullish way, what we could then also argue is that this would align with some of these levels that we are looking at in the higher end of this, which would be this 020498 and pretty much this golden pocket area here of this 017172. So in between that zone would become very interesting to me if we actually start to move down into these levels, because we also have those CPR levels in that range. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.